So what is MarkLogic? It's an enterprise NoSQL database platform. It does it a little bit of a disservice to say, oh, well, we're just a database. We happen to provide an integrated platform. It's a big difference. If you go to MongoDB, DataStax, any of the open source NoSQL players, all you get is a database. It's left to you to go find an application server, and it's left to you to go find a search engine and bolt those on and make them work together. Well, at that point, you're becoming the software vendor. And also, if you think about it, how optimal is it going to be if I take a search engine from one vendor and I bolt it on generically to a database from a different vendor? You know, just put your thinking caps on for a second, go back to the relational era. Any of you ever use Sybase SQL on your Oracle database? Do you ever use Oracle SQL on your DB2 database? And the short answer is no. It came as an integrated platform because the goal is not to just store the data. The goal is to get information back out, convert that data to information. That's the query engine or the search engine. Now, don't get too confused on search engine for us. A lot of people, they think of search engine, oh, you're Google. Well, we are Google in the sense of our founder had a vision to say, let's go out there and build a search engine for corporate data. He just realized 14 years ago to do that, you had to store it differently. But we're not Google in the sense of our applications aren't 2.5 words and you get your results. Google is or the search engine is simply an alternative way to program MarkLogic. It's an alternative query language with all the similar kinds of power and capabilities of SQL in the relational world. But it is integrated and it does come from MarkLogic. And so we're the only enterprise NoSQL. I'll talk about enterprise more. Enterprise, one of the main things, asset transactions. And for those of you that came from the era of the Grateful Dead, it's a different kind of asset. In this particular case, what asset transactions is, don't get too confused on this. What asset transactions are, very simply, is the computer science definition of data reliability. That's really all it is. It's the notion that says if I'm writing data to a database and I'm putting data in my database, it should go in consistently and accurately, and it should be completely recoverable. I should be able to have a current state, and I should be able to do transactions seamlessly. Most of our competitors, starting about 3 or 4 years ago, would say this wasn't possible. Now they all have it on their roadmaps. The reality is it is possible, it's just really hard to do. And remember, we're doing it in a scale-out Intel architecture, commodity hardware environment. Makes it a little bit harder. But asset transactions, the notion of data reliability, high availability, and disaster recovery. Oracle in the early 80s, mid 80s when I came in, we didn't have any of this stuff. That all came in the mid 90s. And if you ever look at a stock chart on Oracle, just look at the mid 90s and it goes straight up and to the right. And that was the delivery of Oracle version 7. What I would suggest was the first version of the Oracle database that stopped losing data. So it took Oracle 10 or 15 years to mature that capability. We've had it since version 1 of our product, these two capabilities. We also have full replication engines. Security was an afterthought for almost all the new database providers. Because our early adopters were the intelligence agencies, security was front and center. You don't bring together a lot of data from different agencies and just get a free-for-all of, here, have access to all your data or none of your data. The vast majority of the NoSQL databases in the market today, it's access to all your data or none of your data. Not exactly ideal. So these are the core enterprise features right in here. Scalability, obviously you gotta be scalable in a scale-out architecture. And then we don't really care where you run it. MarkLogic is a little bit indifferent. You can run it virtually or physically on the hardware. You can run it in the cloud or on-premise. You can run it in the hybrid cloud. We don't really care. So you can buy MarkLogic, by the way, the same way. You can buy it for on-premise, typical perpetual license. You can buy a term license. You can go onto Amazon. You can run it on Amazon. Or you can even buy it on Amazon, 99 cents an hour in Amazon. You can just click through and get your MarkLogic that way. So it manages all the normal architectures of the day. And then we'll talk a little bit about Hadoop for storage and compute. Semantics, another one of these technical terms that gets people pretty confused. I'll give you a simple definition of semantics. It's the notion of that I can support what's in my database with information that I know of that's outside of my database. And that immediately causes confusion. So what's a simple way to think about it? Think about a capital markets application. Imagine you're sitting in a financial services company and you type in IBM. And you want to find out everything in your systems about IBM. If you type in IBM, likely you're going to get thousands and thousands of documents back. In that same database, if you type in Big Blue, you probably won't get anything back. But you and I, we all know that Big Blue and IBM are one and the same. So in a MarkLogic world, if I'm using semantics, I can know that IBM and Big Blue are one and the same. So if in my search I say, give me everything for Big Blue, the database will be smart enough to know to give you everything for IBM. So imagine the power of search if all of a sudden you can complement search with external facts that are known in the world. Just increases the relevancy factor, the kinds of information you can bring back. And the faster time to results really comes from